Welcome, folks, to another episode of the Mojave Guide. I'm your host, Johnny Miller, and I'm getting ready to walk up to the top of this mountain because at the top of this mountain is a symbol of what community really means. And today's story is all about that. The love and dedication that the good folks from Lucerne Valley have for their community. So let's go see what we can find. Look at you all fresh and showered up. Good morning, folks. I am sitting here in the beautiful residence of Hoyt Morrow. My understanding is that these fine folks are the reason why, or one of the reasons why, we have the Christmas tree on Strawberry Peak. And so with that, who started this whole Christmas tree on Strawberry Peak thing, and what year did it start?
It started in 78
We talked about that.
or 79, and we had a Firemen's Association, and the Chamber of Commerce came to the Firemen's Association and asked us if we would put a Christmas tree on top of Strawberry Peak. Well, back then it was 4 or 5 of us firemen. We climbed up Strawberry Peak with a pole and lights and rope.
And a bunch of extension cords, right?
Extension cords.
And back in the 70s, those were real extension cords. Those
Yes.
weren't like the extension cords that we have now. They were like much heavier, right?
Well, they were heavier, but they were shorter.
Yeah.
So we had to take a bunch and tie the ends so they wouldn't pull apart. We tied the ends and just started stringing them down.
Oh, that's
I
awesome.
say the first year when most of them all donated, they hadn't even bought them. They just went to people and said, "You got,
I
but
think-
they have extension cords."
Yeah,
Oh, that is
donated
cool.
Outside ones?
How did the Lions Club get involved with it?
We did it till we moved to Hesbury in '83. And the Lions Club,
I think the Lions Club was really getting into it at that time.
When you climbed up to the top the first time, how did you decide where you were going to set the pole, and how did you decide how big a pole you need and how to make it look like a Christmas tree? I mean, you guys didn't just carry a Christmas tree up top, I imagine.
no, we carried a pole. I don't know how many strings of lights, and we put the pole up and tied the lights to the top of the pole
Mm-hmm.
and just pulled them down and tied them to the rocks, basically.
Is that still what's up there? It is.
No.
Is that how they do it now?
Start with George Levonsky started it. He made a steel ring and a pole and rings that they could tie down,
Wow.
and then they strung the lights on steel wire that came down.
Wow.
So
That's cool.
if the wind blew and it blew the tree over up there, we had to go back up and straighten it back up. So
That's funny.
George saw that, and he made something that wouldn't fall over.
He thought he got a better
Better
way.
idea.
Yeah, and it turns out it worked,
He
right?
did.
Right.
It did. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Were the folks at the Chamber of Commerce pleased with the Christmas tree? Were they
Oh
Yeah, I believe so.
happy with it?
Back then we had a paper, the Lucerne Valley Leader.
Yeah, I remember the leader.
And it was a big splash on the front page.
Cool.
And people, be at the store and they'd say, "Did you see the Christmas tree?" It
Yeah.
really brought a good community spirit.
That's awesome.
Kind of revved it up.
I believe this community has always, even though it
We have our characters.
now have characters that you don't think it gets along, but if there's something that happened, the community always pulled together.
So after meeting with Hoyt and Jamie at their beautiful residence, I knew I wanted to get the Chamber's perspective on that Christmas tree on the top of Strawberry Peak. So I reached out to some friends and we met at the Moose.
I'd like to introduce Lynn and Owen. And guys, so the Christmas tree in town on Strawberry. Do you guys remember the first year that you moved in, seeing that go up on the hill? Were you aware that was going to happen, or did it just kind of one day surprise you?
It surprised us.
Yeah, we were driving lights on top of that mountain. And as we got closer and closer, we saw what it was and went, "Oh, there's a tree sitting up there."
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it was very cool. It was like
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah. So yeah, I was going to ask, how did that make you feel?
It warms your heart.
Yeah, I thought it was really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good tradition, I think.
Oh yeah.
I think
Oh, yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Have either of you ever climbed Strawberry Peak?
No.
Yeah, I hear it's quite the climb. Yeah, when I was talking to Hoyt, he tells me that they used to race up that back in the 50s and 60s. It was like a thing. They would race up that hill.
Yeah, I think he, if I remember right, he lived across they lived across the street.
Yeah.
They would run across the 18 and climb up the mountain real fast.
Yeah, that's pretty. That looks like a heck of a climb to me. Do you have any? I know that you guys do the Christmas tree lighting ceremony, right?
No.
When is that?
It's usually the first weekend after Thanksgiving,
Okay.
and our chamber president puts it together, and a bunch of us chamber people and community people, we all get together and have hot cocoa with marshmallows or whipped cream.
Oh man.
Usually somebody brings cookies, but I forgot this year.
Oh
It was
man.
my turn.
Dang it.
Yeah, I have
Forgot
to-
the cookies.
Yeah, it's a great tradition too. That gets people in the community out there to see it lit. Some people don't understand the thought process and the planning that goes into it, or the people that had to climb up there with the tree stuff on their backs and
Yeah.
All that extension cord.
Yeah. It's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot, you know.
It is, and they don't know how much we appreciate it.
Yeah.
Those of us that
So after meeting Owen and Lynn at the Moose, I knew I had one more person to get a hold of, and that was George. So I set up a meeting, and we had a great chance to talk. I'm here with George Yablonsky. And George has been a member of this community for a long, long time. And when I met with Hoyt and Jamie, they told me that the person to really talk to about the Christmas tree was George. Tell me when you first got involved.
So when I first got involved, my wife, Betty Murray, well, she wasn't my wife then, she's my girlfriend, and we got along good, so we got married. At any rate, she was a beautician, and she had one of her ladies came and asked her, well, when are you, the mayor of Lucerne Valley, going to put the Christmas tree back up on? And that was like in 1985, 86.
Who brings the ladder up to put that thing, like to hook up the top?
It's all assembled down at the base before it stood up. And then the cable, the lights are attached to the cable already. So it's all stood up all in one piece and it's ready to go.
That was one of the thoughts that went through my mind, like, who drew the short strip, the short straw? Like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm gonna take this ladder now, I'm gonna stand up on top of this peak, which is,
And there's no ladder.
yeah, oh, thank God for that, yeah.
In 06, Bob Delperdang and I went up the hill with our electric drills, drilled all the holes to tie the base off.
Wow.
So when it started out, I was doing it all by myself. And
That's crazy.
There's a backpack that carries the lights and the cables. It has carrying tools, wrenches, and whatever I might need. The wires and everything So I would just tie them all together, and it was just like a suitcase to carry that up
Oh
there.
my
But
gosh.
the pole had to be. It's better managed by one person than it is by two.
Wow.
So I would
And that's pretty long. That's like, was it about
21.
20? It looked like it was pretty tall to me.
Yeah.
It's so funny because from the distance, you don't realize just how tall that tree actually is. I mean,
Right.
that's substantially tall.
Well, that's 800 feet up there. So
Yeah,
it's,
a long way.
We'll stand out there 800 feet and
Yeah.
see what you look like.
Yeah, for sure. You know, for sure. For me, it really feels like a tribute to the Christmas spirit and to the good spirit of people, right? Like,
What-
I motivated you, besides your beautiful wife, to do that.
Well, it was just-
and to do that year after year after year.
We do it for the community, and it's something that has been going on for a lot of years.
And I can remember seeing that all my life. That it seems like it's been there. So it's kind of like the flags. You're just kind of like, this is what Lucerne Valley does.
That's what we do.
And
yeah.
and so for us, that's one of the things we love the most is the sense of community that the good folks of Lucerne Valley have.
Yeah,
Right.
there's a lot of good folks in
Yeah.
Lucerne Valley.
Well, with that, I bid George farewell and began to make my way towards Strawberry Peak. And while today I interviewed George and Hoyt, about putting that Christmas tree up. Both of them wanted to remind me that it's the good folks from Lucerne Valley that have continued that tradition. Lots of folks every year come together to make that happen. This is a real community project, and community is the key word that they both used. This ought to be fun. Definitely a little challenging, but makes you think, what kind of love does it take for Christmas and for community? And a bunch of guys decided, let's get some extension cords and some metal poles, a bunch of Christmas lights, hike up that mountain and strap all that in so that the kids can still know that Santa Claus sees them. I think that's amazing. Okay, so there's nothing like having to do a little rock crawling when you're already up whew, on the top of a really steep mountain. Just think about those guys who are making this happen, carrying poles and all kinds of stuff. Crazy. That is a tough hike, and you are definitely up here, and it's very steep. If you're afraid of heights, this is not the place to come for a picnic. But having said that, we made it. So let's take a look at this thing. It's very impressive here. See if we can catch this behind me here. There is the Christmas tree on top of Strawberry Peak. Look at this absolutely amazing view of one of California's most beautiful desert valleys, Lucerne Valley. From this point, you can see almost forever. And of course, there's the Christmas tree. It's so funny. From the distance, it just looks like a little tiny dot. But in fact, it is 20 foot tall plus. I'm gonna hike up here very carefully because I gotta tell you folks, this is definitely steep. You're definitely up here. Wow, what an amazing view. You can see all the way out to Johnson Valley. You can see all of Lucerne Valley. See the San Bernardinos as they lay out in front of us. It's amazing sunset. Rabbit Dry Lake, and all the way into Apple Valley. Amazing. Absolutely spectacular. Definitely one of California's coolest Christmas trees. Okay, so 4:30 is come and gone and still no lights. I'm not sure if it was exactly 4:30 or maybe their clock is slow or mine's fast, but I'm not seeing any lights. Let's see if we can make it happen. Go lights. Let's try magic words. Turn on says sesame. I don't think it's working. I think Angie's gonna have to go back and get more batteries in the drone. Okay folks, so here we are on the top of Strawberry Peak, overlooking one of California's most beautiful valleys, Lucerne Valley. And behind me is this amazing Christmas tree. Super cool. I've learned a couple things about the people that come up and do this. One, they do an amazing job. I mean, simply getting here is a feat. This is a very steep and treacherous hike to get up here. And two, the Christmas spirit is really alive. what a fortunate thing it is to live in a community where people still care. As always, when you find yourself climbing up the side of a mountain on a steep, rocky, bumpy trail, so you can find yourself a Christmas tree, you've really found yourself at home. Good night, everybody. I hope you've enjoyed this journey as much as I have, and I hope that you support the local groups in your community that do things to make your lives better. Have a great night.